Morning. Look how beautiful the morning is. It's not even 6 a.m. and I'm at the train station again. And look, so this morning's episode of Wake Up to Rodney is about weak-minded people make weaker decisions. They make weaker decisions. And why is that? It's because the easiest decision to make is probably the first decision that you have, or the first set of understandings that you have. And if you don't have the cognitive skills to go any deeper, then what happens is that you make a decision and it's more than likely the wrong decision. In fact, most likely the wrong decision, but it's a decision that's not based on any kind of fact. You haven't done any fact finding. You haven't worked anything out. You've just thought of the parameters and made that decision. So I'll give you an example. And some of you may listen to how beautiful the bird songs are. And so some of you may not know. My mum died having my little sister, my sister, and obviously don't want to dig her out or anything like that. But in her mind, she believes that her brother, me, she only got one brother, her brother, me, and other sisters or other sister don't like her and blame her for the death of our mom. Now, no one has ever said that. Nobody has ever insinuated that. Oh, I love these trains. Wait there. That's a long one? Bloody hell. Still going. Wow, some nice breeze that is. So yeah, so no one has ever said that. No one believes that. Obviously it wasn't her fault in any way. But in her mind, she has made that decision to feel that she's not worthy of us as brothers and sisters, or to not speak to us, or to distance herself from us. Now, that makes no sense, but it's a decision that shaped her life, that's made her life less, close to her family, because she's made that decision. Now, it wasn't based on anything, and like I said, it's just a straightforward decision, not based on any fact. Obviously, this is a business show, but I'm just giving an example of even the closest people to you, yeah, or who you'd feel the closest people to you, can make these decisions that bear no reality. And, you know, I'm on TikTok and I watch a lot of videos and stuff like that. And I listen to a lot of people, you know, making decisions about food, about business, or about investing, or about who to partner with. Like, there's a woman who had a great business, and this is what I'm saying. So it's not indicative of the talent. This woman had a great business doing all the catering for people at the gym. What's it called? Food prep. Doing all those food preps things, yeah. She had a great business. Some really good turnover. 80 grand every 3 months or whatever it was. She had really good turnover. And then some guy, some guy said, oh, we can make this big and we can do this and we can do that. I'll invest, I'll put 100 grand into the business. He put 100 grand into the business. She didn't need it. She hadn't done any research. She hadn't done any, invested any time into thinking, what could happen if I take this money off this guy? So what happened is, this guy is not going to be boots on the ground. yeah, and he wasn't boots on the ground. So therefore, he was only a drain on the business. Once he'd put his 100 grand into the business, he was then a drain on the business. And as a result, he just kept taking out of the business. He used that business to leverage borrowing against another business, and that's all it was. And then once he'd got the borrowing for his the other business that he wanted to start or invest in, he wasn't bothered about that business because he don't need it anymore. So he drained it. And obviously, because he'd put 100 grand in the business, because even though it was doing good business, it wasn't worth 100 grand. So once he takes his 100 grand out, it leaves that business in negative equity. So in the end of the day, he closed their business, shut it down. Whereas she'd have just had a business continually. She'd have just had, and why did she make that decision? Because it was the first initial. He looked good, had a nice car, probably looked quite good looking, yeah. Spoke all this lingo, yeah. But in her mind, she should have been, hold on, what's more important to me? How you appear to me or my business? And that's the problem. People make decisions based on how things appear instead of how things are. And again, it's that thing, perception versus perspective. The perception is everything looked good, nice car, good looking, probably tall, probably really good hair, probably plays golf, probably has some kind of business or business background or something like that. So therefore he knew he could manipulate her, because not everybody in business is good. So therefore, look what happened. Killed the business. Now, yes, you could rebuild the business again, but she got to start from scratch. All that hard work that she did, now competitors have seen and competitors have moved in, so she can't. She's done. And that's what I'm saying. When you make decisions, you've got to think of all the parameters. What would that 100 grand investment have done to a business that was already turning over 80 grand a month or whatever the figures were? So she had a niche. She had that whole area down to herself. No competitors. She didn't need the investment. She didn't need to external investment. So anyway, to recap, don't make weak decisions. So think to yourself, because even me, when I say even me, look, I'm only understanding who I am now. And it's taken me all these years to work out who I am. And I'm still working hard on myself. And not in a, when I say working hard on myself, I mean building my brand. I mean building this platform, building my business. I'm working hard. And because I am my brand, I have to work on myself. Now, can I make weak decisions when it comes to cars? Yeah. There's no need for a Range Rover because I've got an X5, but I wanted a Range Rover. Yeah, there's no need for an X5 because I had a Mercedes Vito, so why did I buy the X5? Do you see what I mean? So yes, everybody has a certain weakness, but only now after, and hopefully my sister one day will say, listen, my family don't resent me, so let's go and have a relationship with my family instead of shunning us away. Let's hope that that lady who made that wrong decision now is a better business person because she's realised how she lost. And that's the thing, it's a circle. You can recover. You can recover. She might need to move. She might need to, like with my sister, she might need to, it's going to take effort. It's like with me, it's going to take effort. So yes, you can make weak decisions. However, as long as you understand them and recover from them. Listen, like and subscribe, guys. See you in a bit. Bye.